And welcome back to the Crypto Angles podcast by your girl Kelita, Sahliah. If you are new, then welcome. If you're not, then welcome. Everyone, welcome. Over here, I basically combine astronomy and astrology together because I use the visible sky, not just mainstream astrology, and I take the characteristics of astrology and link it up with technical analysis and see how it could potentially be impacting the market. Of course, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I am just exploring the dance between the stars and energy, really, because money is energy, crypto is money. So that's basically it. So welcome if you are new. This is my own calendar that I use, and it is available if you'd like that too on Etsy. If you are watching this on Patreon, then you do have a 30% discount off all my products, so you can enjoy that if you're watching this later in the future. But anyway, let's get into it. So we're gonna go over the transits that's happening this week, and then we're going to touch onto the the technical analysis. So forgive me, I didn't even have my calendar out, my own calendar. When I'm on the other page, I like to when I'm on the trading page, I like to have it next to me. And I don't know where it is, so that's fine. I just have to use the computer. So let's look at the transits happening this week. Anyway, it is a slower week after this shift in energy, this third quarter moon. Yesterday, actually, because it's the 11th today. So the third quarter moon was that transition and shift in energy. So it was a shift in energy. We were close to finding the bottom here, because price likes to find the bottom on a full moon. It's like it found its bottom, went up, and then it's found an even deeper bottom. So we'll take a look at that in the charts in a bit. Energy has shifted over this third quarter moon, meaning we're kind of getting ready to be pulled up to this new moon in Gemini, which is en route. In terms of moon movements throughout, like from we're in Pisces now till like the 13th, the 14th we're in Aries, the moon, and then it moves into late in the day on the 15th. So for some people it may be the 16th, it moves into Taurus, and then it finishes next week in Gemini, as you can see, this new moon, no moon. So I'm seeing, because there's like Aries energy coming in here, I am seeing what am I seeing? Aries and Taurus energy. So potentially I'm gonna just say movement. The best way I can say it is very odd, very random. We'll check out the charts to see if it aligns, but I'm seeing movement. I mentioned last week there was a lot of momentum coming in, and there definitely was. Momentum happened, and the market is definitely correcting itself right now. But what I'm seeing with this Aries energy, so it may be slow. Pisces energy is like the last zodiac. So in essence, in order for it to get to its next level, I'm paying attention to what price is doing round about this time, because that's going to be its new norm. The Pisces being the last one, it's like that balance of the yin and yang, the balance of energies basically, and you have that like watery birth. So in essence, it's like this is the new level we're at round about this time. This Aries energy picking up momentum again. I'm seeing momentum for June. Like I was saying a lot of that last week. Feel free to check that video out. Feel free to also check out my live as well, where I talk about, obviously not crypto related, but all of this just in general life, because I mentioned a lot about Saturn, and this is what I want to touch on now. So in essence, I'm seeing stabilization energy throughout this whole week with the market. It needs to stabilize. so it can move to its next so it can break through its next resistance or reach its next resistance and turn that into its new support. So yeah, I'm just seeing the market just needs to stabilize. It may bottom out. We may get a bit of this fiery Aries energy, and then as Taurus comes in, what is it, from the 15th, as Taurus comes in at the end of the week, there may be a little bit of momentum, but then possible slow, more slow and steady movements, because that's Taurus energy. But we're going to observe this because I also want to take note of the market's general movements when it's in each sign. So oh, my disk is getting full of memory. I need to sort that out. So yeah, let's get into this quickly. Anyway, Saturn, I see Saturn as the one like is known as like Father Time. It has its rings. It's basically what you're spending your time on in this reality, in the hologram right now. So in essence, it is retrograding. Retrogrades allow a time of going back, allowing you to go over and redo that what you need to do. And so Saturn being there, you're getting to redo and go over that what you didn't get to spend time on, in essence. And because this is related to the crypto market, this structure and discipline of the crypto market is going to be very important right now in order for it to set itself up for like the future, like end of this year, 2024 and beyond. So in essence, because it's retrograding, I'm seeing price action in alignment with Pluto retrograding as well. It's getting, oh, and we're going to get another retrograde here, Neptune soon. But in essence, it is fully timed now, along with Pluto retrograding. It's fully timed to your retrogrades, I guess, to be noticeable within time, within your physical hologram and reality. So I am seeing price, in order for it to be a valuable asset in the future, from 2024 2025, it's reaching price discovery. The whole crypto market, it needs to finish its bottoming structure, and in order to kind of do that, it needs to reach these highs. It needs to reach to that it's like craving to reach to. So Saturn being in retrograde, I feel that that's when it will happen, and that's when it's going to start reaching that level it needs to reach to, so it can become rejected, find its support again one last time end of this year, before truly making its way to price discovery. So that's what I'm seeing this week. Yeah, we won't get too much into this. I'll tell you, let me touch on it actually. This full new moon, obviously I'm seeing price being pulled towards the new moon. It's 5 days in, 5 days out. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is what I'm saying. It's like we're reaching this Pisces new ground, and then it's stabilizing, but also there's chance for it to be pulled up to the new moon, the no moon, new moon's location before this period, or it could be after, 5 days after, so the end of the week, which it does make sense, potentially closer to that. It's like there's definitely a shift in energy happening here, but it does make sense because we've got the Mars and the Sun making transit. So we'll obviously touch on that next week, but let's get into the charts without further ado. Let's take a look. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin and XRP. I'm unsure. Should I put this one on my YouTube? I'm unsure. If I happen to put this on my YouTube and you lot are watching this far ahead, please drop a comment if you like this or would like to see more. Yeah. The reason I kind of started it on my Patreon, this best just turned to Bitcoin, you know, it's showing the DXY. Oh yeah, it's changing to Bitcoin. The moment I kind of started it on my Patreon as something I'm just kind of doing it for myself and the odd few people who has reached out to me. But if people like to see it, I don't mind. And the reason I put it on my Patreon is because obviously I'm showing my art, isn't it? I'm showing my art. So if you would like to support, feel free to grab yourself a calendar. That would be really helpful. So here we are. Anyway, as I was saying, we had a lot of momentum down. This was the full moon. Are we still in the 5-day frame? We've definitely come out of it now. So it is nice to see that is bottoming here. And did it do a double bottom? Kind of. So that's interesting. That's super interesting. So last week I was saying, we may get rejected off here, and we did. We went down. I did say I'm seeing like a 25k. Bitcoin, we definitely touched it. Could we wick lower? I think so. We could reach the highs of like literally 25k exactly, or like 24.9 potentially. Basically this yellow line, we could wick down to it. Let's extend this red line, because I drew that and I was like, we could potentially be climbing. So this could, if we hold this level, it could stay there. But then of course the next level is literally 24.9 if it's to go down again. And if that is the case, it's not too bad, because on the daily, we don't have on all our moving averages, but on the daily, the 55 is sloped to downside. There is still a bit of space between the 200 moving average and the actual price action. So it wouldn't really be strange if it's to kind of like touch here, allowing these moving averages to kind of catch up. Because as this is sloping down, it's kind of pushing it down. But we'll see as well if on the smaller time frames what it's saying. On the RSI, again, I find it interesting. On the RSI price, the relative strength index is higher than this last actual dip on price. If you can see, it's quite higher now, but price is pretty much the same, or it's ready to dip lower. So if that dips lower but it remains quite higher than the last low on the RSI, then that's telling me it's like a hidden bullish diversion that's potentially coming. So that's why, because I was also saying Bitcoin going down to 25k, that would be healthy, and it would be something I'd actually like to see. So yeah. I don't really think we're going to take a look on smaller time frames. I don't really see there's much more. I'm seeing that needs to, it's either rejecting off here or it's dipping down. Like I says, we're not fully into the fibs yet. We're gonna get there as I grow and as this laptop can handle a little bit more. Okay, so I just wanted to take a look on the weekly. It's interesting, on the weekly, price has dropped below the 200 moving averages. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, it's dropped below it. So then what this is telling me, even if price reacts quite sharply to just like being below the 200 moving average and just, springs up, reaches to its targets, 38k, probably a little bit higher, I'm not seeing it's for long, because there is a cross here on the weekly, if you know what I mean. So it's like, there may be temporary relief, but because it's crossed, it's just not finished its downtrend. Obviously we want the white underneath the blue for a continual uptrend, not the white on top of the blue or green, whatever color this is, turquoise. So that's what I'm seeing there. On the weekly, we could find the 50 level on the RSI as its new support, which that would be amazing, really. So even if it does dip down a little bit on price on the weekly, if it finds its new support on the 50 RSI level, then essentially it can continue coming up before coming all the way back down again. And like I says, I prefer to use a line chart, but I do tap into like you know, the candlesticks if I'm trying to look for patterns and stuff. So can you see it's just slowing down? You can do it. You're meant to be an apple, you're meant to stay fresh. So okay, what I'm seeing here, I'm definitely seeing we've got some space for the downside again. As I says, RSI here is still lower, even though price is at the same level. The RSI here was definitely oversold, whereas right now it's not. Well, yeah, it is low, not over. It is sold off a lot, but it's not oversold. It's not breached the oversold area. And because literally because of the way the moving averages are sloping down on the 4 hour, that's telling me Bitcoin just has a it wouldn't shock me, would I say, if it needs to just do a little dip down. Like it could even just dip to this line, wick a little bit lower, and then just follow it up, or it could just quickly wick down. I don't know, but we had our cross here and it's kind of just gone down, so moving averages kind of just need to cross over. So that's kind of where that is. Sneak peek at the hour. Yeah, same story, especially if like these are still sloping down, like that could just send it whoop to there. You see, and look at it on here, it's like being rejected off the 50s, and that's saying it's ready to go another leg down. And it's just all going to make sense anyway, because it's ready obviously to reach its next level of resistance, so it needs to secure its support. And it was like when it was just floating here, it's just like, now what's going on? This is definitely a better structure, especially because we had no trading happening here, so it's kind of like it's filling out the trading here. Yeah, kind of like a horizontal as above, so below pattern, so below as above. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there with Bitcoin. It wouldn't surprise me if it takes a little wick down, and to this level I feel would be the most structurally confirming personally, if we're just wicking down to 24.9, maybe even a quick dip to 24.8, I don't know, but definitely 24, low 25k, and that would be normal. And then it's just kind of like regain strength as the moving averages travel up, and voila, we need it to find its bottom basically, so it's ready. So it is ready. Right, XRPZ. Well, it definitely reached my target that I done here, which is lovely to see. It's very interesting seeing things in like live time, and it's like, wow, it's actually like, you know, recording it as well just shows it as like proof, and it like, yes, I saw it. So this is interesting anyway. Obviously I did touch on this head and shoulders. It's happened here. Weirdly, so I was gonna say, would you class this as like one weird head and shoulder, like shoulder, whole head, and it's forming its next shoulder? That'll be quite interesting. But something I've noticed, this is on the daily, and on the weekly this is just the bottom of that big W pattern I was saying. But something I've actually also noticed, can I draw just a brush? Hopefully this works. Let me put this down. So something I've noticed, so it is this big massive stretched out W's, like this is nice, but then here we've kind of just gone like, what's happening? So that's definitely still in the cards for the weekly. Maybe if I put it, no, let me show you the daily. So anyone else seeing this. I need to change this color. I'm just going to change it now. I'm trying to put it a color that's just so blatantly obvious. Which color? It's really awful. There's too much white, there's too much red, there's too much green, there's too much blue. Light pink. It's because it's so thin. There we go. So there's a cup and a handle. So that's something I noticed. I was like, oh, okay, it's literally forming this massive cup and handle pattern, and I kind of wanted to just test it. I don't know, do you test it from the cup or the handle? We're gonna check both of them, because why not? Obviously I drew this line. Was that from the, that must have been from the weekly. Yeah, and it's reaching that 37, 34 range, which makes sense because when you go back, it's like around about there. 33 is the last trading cluster. Like if you move to the side, see, in the 70s, the low 70s is this trading cluster. So it makes sense if price is ready to hit that. And of course, like if it is just from the handle and we're breaking out at there, mm, 65. Yeah, that's interesting. So I'm seeing it's potentially, it could potentially just break out of its handle, not the cup. I'm not quite sure where it's measured from, to be honest, but either way, both can it can clearly reach both of them, because it's 65 target. We can see there's a little bit of trading cluster here. We had a little rejection and it broke through and then it retested. You know, kind of maybe there's possibly some wicks here. It's just because we're on the line chart. So then that makes sense. And obviously the higher level, it's up here, isn't it? It's got a little trading cluster here where we may get caught out for a bit, and then that is the next route, what I'm seeing. Okay, let me get rid of this cup. My eyes are squinted right now. Gonna get rid of these cups and just these lines, because oh dear. So let's take a wee look. Right, so this already, I'm seeing something quite interesting. I'm seeing something quite interesting, just a horizontal line, literally where price is right now at, it's trading literally at 50 cents, right? So it's trading at 50 cents. We can see over here it had some form of connection, a relationship with this area. You can see price broke through and it retested back in May, the 11th of May 2022. Oh, so this is a strong area, and look, it's retested it again in September 2022, peaked above it a little bit, dropped below it. Its resistance again did not stay above this zone for long, and then it just got fully rejected. As price came back up to retested it, it tried to hold it a bit and then it fell right through. So that again I find interesting, and right now we are back on this trend line that's been there since 7th of May 2022, so well over a year. Almost touched base with it before, but well over a year. Clearly got rejected November and September, so autumn autumn. But what I'm finding interesting is that we were trading above it here. We did hold it before breaking below, and now we're at the same place again. So let's just look on smaller time frame just to get an idea of what's going on. Oh wait, actually I noticed something that I wanted to pick out. The moving averages, it's nice to see that price was supported by the 200 moving average here. It's also nice to see that price did jump up above the 55 moving average. It's also nice the fact that they are kind of sloping. The 200 is definitely sloping up, and the 55 is getting ready to slope up. So that's kind of telling me that price may find support off the 55 potentially, whilst the 200 can catch up. And it may just find support, but let's take a look to see if it could easily drop down below this level, or like what is it doing. Okay. Right, looking on the 4 hour, and then we're going to take, let's move this. Okay, just looking on the 4 hour on XRP, I can clearly see on the RSI it's being rejected at the 50. It seems like it's being rejected at this level now. So what that is telling me is that there could be just a dip down to 47. I feel because Bitcoin needs to take its dip down, like Bitcoin just looks so clear, it just wants to take one more dip down. I feel it's going to bring XRP down, so it's like we are going to get rejected off this 50 one more time. Yeah. We're going to get rejected off the 50 one more time. At the end of XRP, I'm going to take a look at the weekly, because we do obviously want to start seeing candles being closed at least above 50 cents. Like, come on. But on a bigger candle, this could literally just be a wick down and it could finish strong. So I am putting that out there. But seeing this, like the 200 is sloping up, but the 55 has sloped down, and I feel the 55 will be the resistance for XRP now, and it will push it down a bit. I feel it will just push it down just to this level, and I feel structurally, just like Bitcoin, I feel this will be necessary because it has come down but to nowhere really. Like if we look left to this little tiny trading cluster on the 4 hour, whereas if it was to drop down to at least at 47 cents, we've got multiple touch points as a support and resistance. And what would be amazing is if XRP finds this area as its new support, and I feel like that's what it needs to do. It's like, okay, this was my support, oh, resistance, this needs to be my new support so I can break through this resistance. That's kind of what I'm seeing there. But with the 4 hour on the RSI, that's ready to drop. Seems like it's getting rejected off this level. It's like even if it attempts to go up a little bit more, I feel the 55 moving average at like over 51 cents, so basically no higher than 52 cents, will just push the price down. But as I said, structurally, I feel it would be healthy for XRP if it finds support here, personally, at 48 cents. I feel that would be wonderful. Just at this zone, 48 cents, before making its way up. Did I check on the weekly? I didn't. Yeah, I wanted to check on the weekly. Let's take one look at on the hourly. See if it confirms. Yeah, again. Ooh. Like it technically kind of crossed, but then it's crossed back over on the hourly for like downward momentum. So this is where it's like, even on the RSI, though it kind of looks like it's peeping and priming to get ready to go up, this could turn around. That triangle could turn around. It could become a triangle, not a upward whatever, not a tick but a triangle. and just like come down to create this double bottom effect in essence. And on the RSI, price could be higher, that like, so the strength could be higher on the RSI, but price could actually dip lower to just a little bit lower than this, or just create this double bottom. Basically a double bottom would be great, but seen on the 1 hour, it's kind of crossed over on the moving averages. So this could just knock the price down one last time before it kind of evens out over here ish and crosses back over again whilst price is evening out. So I do want to just take a look at the weekly, and then we're going to move on to the DXY. See, so if you can see anyway, you've got this big W pattern if it's to go up, and then obviously if that's invalidated, then you've got this big cup and handle. Like, it's so clear. And so it's just like, that's why it's like, oh, on a smaller time frame it may have to just have a little wick down, I don't know, but this just looks like once it's finished finding its support here, it looks like it's ready to just go to the next level at 60k. Not 60k, wow, let's speak that into existence. XRP at 60k from now, that would be amazing, but let's not get our hopes up, that's not happening for a while. So yeah, so that's interesting. And again, obviously, because these have crossed to like the downward side, I'm not seeing this upward movement long lasting. I'm still seeing it's finishing off its downward potential. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing there with XRP. I'm just gonna take a quick look at the actual candles, because oh, look at that. You see how, so my purples are buys and my grays are sells. So price wicked down to 47 and was brought back up quite quickly to this 50 mark. So that's why I'm saying, oh, it may just want to do this little double bottom quickly just to confirm this support. But you can tell like price is happy at 50, and this is what I don't know, I've definitely said it, and I can't remember if I said it online or just to my brother, but after all of its, you know, this crazy crypto little jump, where some people benefit from or some people may get destroyed from, a 50p XRP at the end of it, like at the end of this year, unless there's some event that just sends it lower, like to here, like 40 cents, I don't know, like if it's to go lower than the lowest point 34, then I'll be a bit like, what's going on? If it's to be a bit higher 36, I guess I could get away with that by just literally ruining people's emotions, like we're pushing it as far as we can. But quite healthily, I'm seeing a 50 cent XRP, potentially the lowest it may be again. Yeah, like possible low wicks down, but then potentially brought back up quite quickly to the 50 cent region. I feel 50 cent and $1 is like a psychological place. So it's like it's hovering here for now, and I feel it will be touching base at $1 again this summer, like 100%, and then dropping back down 50%. That would be good. That would be good, because no, is that almost 100% of its move? I don't know, we'll see what happens. It may drop lower than 50% at the end of this, or it may be higher. Let's take a quick look at the DXY now, because my computer's just getting louder and louder. Ooh, okay, so price has done what I kind of saw it would do. It's interesting that it's trading now outside of this trend line, where there has been like a few touch points and touch points again. It broke through it. I did say I'm anticipating it to kind of get caught in, I'll have to change this back to the line, it's so much clearer. to kind of get caught in this 55 moving average, and that's kind of like what it's happened. It's hit its head off the 104 price, and it's hovering here now, but it kind of like broke through this little resistance. So it's interesting to see, is it getting ready to turn this into temporary support to probably get one little push up to get a more clearer rejection off the 55 moving average, just until like that can push price down to catch up on the weekly with the 200 moving average. As I says, I'm anticipating crypto to have a moment of going up, which means the DXY will have a temporary downward momentum, but I'm not seeing crypto staying high. It's just a relief rally in essence. So this is why I'm seeing it makes sense, the DXY, as I was saying, Bitcoin and XRP, to have a little dip to go down. As I'm seeing Bitcoin and XRP have their little dip down, it would make sense if it's using this as a temporary new support. Average here, I'm just going to change this color to blue. Should I just change it to white because it's white? Oh, Kelita. Right. Is it doing it? It's really just not doing it. Kind of like what I'm seeing there. Let me just get my cursor. It's kind of just what I'm seeing there. Maybe about I don't know, like a cross at some point. If this continues up, a cross at some point to for it to, or not across, a coiling up, so it's like these may come together, and then probably it's even closer to like the 200 moving average. It is being supported by the 55. It's looking like, I'm gonna put this in candles, it is looking like so it's like wedged between this zone. It's like getting rejected off here, it's finding support here. The best thing we can do really is wait and see, but this on the RSI, as you can see on the daily, is potentially found support there. You see what I'm saying, that I was saying on this zone, which would just give it that little boost just to get this confirmed rejection off this zone and the 200 moving average. That's literally what I'm seeing. It's the same thing on the daily. This will reject off it for it to go down. So let's wind this up. Let's wind it up. So as I was saying, I'm seeing temporary for the DXY, little upward momentum, but for crypto I'm seeing downward momentum for it to secure its bottom. That being the moon will be in Pisces 11th, 12th and 13th. So it needs to get its new level. Like I see the zodiac wheel as it's like a wheel, and you keep going around and around and around, and each time it's like this new level, this new version of you essentially. So for crypto to reach like XRP reaching 60 cents, blah blah blah, Bitcoin reaching new heights, it needs to find its support, which I feel is this Pisces energy. It's getting, okay, this is your new level where you're starting, getting ready to be fresh and starting this new toroidal Taurus field. Okay, that's what I'm essentially seeing, is finding its bottom to get to its new level. And and when the Saturn energy kicks in, we will be completing that what we haven't done in price action. We'll be beginning to complete it. And I said last week, I'm seeing momentum picking up more now. We're just finalizing out, getting ready for this new version, And yeah, once we're retrograding, we're doing it. We are doing it. So I'm gonna leave that there. I hope that helped. I may just put this on YouTube too. But if this is on YouTube, please drop me an emoji if you like it. You don't need to leave a full comment, but an emoji would really, it's feedback, it's data. I need data. I need feedback. But anyway, I do hope this has been helpful. We'll keep an eye on the charts. We'll see what happens. We will see. But anyway, if this did help, if it resonated, please share, please like it, stick around if you'd like. And I will catch you next week for episode 12 of the Crypto Angles podcast. But anyway, Angel out. Bye.